Hello and welcome to episode number 92 of the Hobbies and Happiness podcast, where we talk about the hobby that makes us happy, tabletop gaming. I'm one of your hosts, Dan.
And I'm Jim. Today, Star Wars Unlimited TCG is going to take over the market.
We're just going to be memeing. Like, I feel like this whole episode
Dan,
is just going to be
I don't think you
full of
understand.
memes.
This is going to be the greatest card game that we've ever had.
All right, so what's up, everybody? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is different.
We're back.
We're back.
With a vengeance.
We're back, better than ever. And yeah, we've got it feels like it's a whole new studio,
right?
but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we have multiple more cameras now set up.
Multiple more.
Jim and I are literally across the table, from one another. How does this feel?
Honestly, it feels like real gaming. And not
Right?
being like at the corner.
At the corner, yeah. Like, so we're still shooting into the corner,
Yeah,
like for the cameras.
But for gameplay.
But for game, I told this to Jim beforehand, and literally this is the first thing that came to my mind. And you know what? This is going to be the first thing that comes to a lot of people's minds. But we have so much more room for activities.
Yes.
If you know, you know, and you better know.
You want to know how I play a drum kit?
No, I do not want to know how you play
All
a
right.
drum kit.
All right.
All right. Well, before we get into the episode, we need to talk about our sponsor, Amazon Audible. This will be interesting. See if I can remember all this. If you head over to our website, www.audibletrial.com/hobbies and happiness, you can sign up for your free 30-day trial of Amazon's Audible service. That's right. Amazon's Audible service is Amazon's audiobook service. So when you sign up, you follow that link, you sign up today, you get a free book added to your account. That's right, a free book, free credit that you can use to redeem it for any book that's on the service. So when you do that, get that free book added to your account. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get two free credits added to your account when you, again, follow that link, sign up for the free 30-day trial. You can cancel. You can cancel before the end of the 30 days if you don't like the service and you want to get out of it, but you do get to keep those free credits on your account. So again, head over to that website, www.audibletrial.com/hobbies and happiness. Sign up for your free 30-day trial today. All right, feels great. It feels nice to get back to get back to it, get back to making content. Yeah, it's been a little bit. I don't remember who I was talking to the other day, but you know, we've been spending some time just. Like, you were with family a lot last week.
Early May is rough.
Yeah, well, but it's
not rough. It's busy.
Yeah, right.
Busy.
It's busy, but
I mean, it's rough for business.
yeah, right. Like, for me, it felt pretty good because, like, on Friday I got home, and Thursday. I think it was Thursday I got home, and my wife texted me before I got home, was like, hey, Nolan wants to play catch with you. And I'm like, all right, cool, sweet. So I get home, I grab my glove, all right, let's go out. Let's go out in the backyard, and we just played catch for like 30 minutes or something like that. And I'm just like, I'm just taking my time, you know. And then in the evenings, I was just relaxing and just trying to spend some good family time. And it's good. It's good for the soul.
Yep.
Like, it really is. And everyone needs to just take a break every now and then. Just spend time with the people in your life that mean the most to you. You know, keep your priorities in order. And like, I'm the type of person where, look, if you're telling me you're spending time with family, you take all the time you need, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because May 3rd was my birthday.
Yep.
And then the day before, I grouped up with my ma to celebrate. And then also on the weekend, I grouped up with my dad, sister, and brother, because my brother's birthday is on the 11th. So we group up for our birthdays.
Yep.
So I was hanging out with them. And then I also didn't even know what I was doing on the 11th.
Yep.
Because I'm like, am I grouping up with him now on his birthday?
Yep.
So it was just a lot.
Yep.
So.
All right, and then guys, you know, if you're local to the area, stay tuned to the end of the episode, and we've got an announcement. Got an announcement for local folks. So stay tuned to the end of the episode. We'll talk about that.
Or if you want to travel.
Yeah, if you want to travel, you can. Definitely not stopping you. So okay. What we're going to talk about today. No, before we get talking about the topic at hand, what do you think of the whole setup? What's your initial take, your initial opinion?
Different.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And I like it though. I like it.
I'm glad. I think it was a week ago. Like it took me an entire week to get everything set and more equipment in. But I woke up and because I was thinking about this because I sent you a Discord message.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, dude, I'm thinking about changing things up a little bit and just rotating it. And then you were like, that could look good because you were thinking about how it could look. So
Yeah.
I think on Saturday I woke up and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it because I know I just have to do it. And then once I get into it, it'll just get done. So like I spent the entire day just getting stuff moved, and like literally all I did, guys, was I moved the table 45 degrees. But even doing that, had to rearrange everything.
All the cameras.
Had to rearrange
too.
all the cameras. I got a new light for the desk over there because when I streamed a week ago, there was way too much glare overhead. So I got a different light, different softbox. And it's perfect. Like it's great. It is really good. But I'm glad it's done because now one of the other benefits is this space right here.
Yes.
Excuse me. We can add a third person like for more gameplay.
easily.
But that'll be really 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 nice. So
I was also telling Dan, so when we do add a third one, I'll sit there so that way I look normal size for everyone.
further away from the cameras.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, looking forward to that. But yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about this for a little because I'm excited and happy because I think this looks really good. And then we're still going to rearrange some of the background stuff to just to get those background images. Just to
Got a very important piece.
we do have an important piece. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be over there. Yes. So, all right, let's talk about Star Wars Unlimited. So honest question, before you showed up here and I told you about this, did you know about it?
I didn't even know this was as soon as Dan hands me the iPod or the iPad, I'm like, oh, let's go see what new Lorcana cards are out. And I'm like, what do you mean nothing?
Yeah, and then I say Star Wars Unlimited, and you're like, what
is that?
What is that? So I think last week. This was this past week.
Okay.
Well, so it is
I said
Saturday.
on the 9th, right?
Yeah.
on the 9th.
Yeah, on the 9th. Yeah. So yeah, like literally 4 days ago. 4 days ago, I saw the artwork with Luke, Leia, Han, and Vader, and then I'm like, okay. And then when I see FFG, I'm like, oh boy. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, okay, May 9th, Star Wars Unlimited was announced. So Star Wars Unlimited is the up-and-coming new trading card game based in the Star Wars universes and Star Wars IP. Okay, so there's kind of a lot to unpack here. The first thing is it is being done by Fantasy Flight Games and Asmodee. So Asmodee owns FFG. Now, FFG has done Star Wars card games in the past. Not very well, I don't think.
How many Star Wars card games have we had in the past?
So I think
lot.
okay, full transparency, full disclosure. I never played the Decipher Star Wars game. I never played Star Wars Destiny.
I played it
You did.
once or twice.
You said you
Twice.
played it a couple times. Yes.
Twice.
I wanted to get into it, but by the time I wanted to really dive in,
It was dead.
Like they stopped doing stuff for it, and it was dead.
Yep.
And what was interesting to me is the more time passed from that moment in time, I heard a lot of people who were in those communities like enjoyed the game, and were sad to see it go. Okay. So for my experience, there's two different communities. You have the Star Wars Destiny and then the Decipher Star Wars game. Okay. Now, folks who have played the Decipher Star Wars game, those have been people who've been in tabletop and card games for a long time, right? I mean, the two people that come to mind immediately are Charmer and Flake. Those two guys have talked a lot about the Star Wars game, the Star Wars CCG. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Flake just absolutely loved that game, you know? But then there were newer people to the space, at least I think, if I recall correctly, who talked more about the Star Wars Destiny game. And that was, I think what FFG tried to do with that was they tried to reinvent the wheel a little bit by adding the dice. So I don't know when that was announced, if some people liked it, some people didn't like it. I would assume, like, knowing card game players, that there are people who are just like, no,
Yeah.
nah.
There are other games that are way more fun implementing dice.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't one of them.
Okay. What did you, because you said you played it a couple times, right?
Yeah, I played it twice, and I understand that you can miss. I get it. But like the fact that there's a chance, right, for a single stormtrooper to kill like Darth Vader, we'll say, like that shouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, doesn't stuff like that happen in just about every card game, though? But I will say, though,
Kind of.
with an IP like Star Wars,
Yeah.
like, there, what can you think of any other IP that's on par with Star Wars, like with characters that are on the same level as Luke, Han,
Such a high
Vader?
level.
But right, exactly. That's my point. Is
Jace, Chandra. That's all I got. It's just
Which
those, just those two, man.
all right. So when FFG announced this, okay, they had a press release. Okay, there's one sentence, and we'll post all this stuff to the description so you guys can check these out for yourselves. There is one sentence in here that immediately when I read this sentence, I kind of just moved on, because I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is garbage. It says, Star Wars Unlimited is a fast-paced, dynamic game that is both easy to learn and strategically deep. I'm like, okay.
False.
But okay, here's the thing. I can, like, I get marketing talk. Like, I get marketing talk, and I think that's all this is. You know, like, what? When you have a company like FFG who has come out with game after game after game and then just failed. And in the case of Star Wars Destiny, they from my understanding, there was like no transparency. They just shut the game down and didn't say a word for like a year. They just stopped doing stuff and didn't tell anybody anything.
Wow.
Yes.
That's kind of messed up.
That now, again, this is what I heard. Okay. So this is not firsthand information from myself, but that is what I've heard. Okay. So I think there's a lot of people, because I think FFG pretty much has like the Star Wars license. Like they've, again, so I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how the whole licensing procedure works. Like, if there's people who own a specific license and are only able to, like, I'm wondering if FFG is the only company allowed to do Star Wars card anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how any of that works.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a contract or legal thing on paper that says FFG is the only people allowed to do that. Because since Star Wars Destiny, I don't know if there's been anything else. Like, there's the Star Wars deck building game that was from FFG. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that was from FFG.
Yeah.
So I don't know of another company post Star Wars CCG from Decipher. I don't know of another company other than FFG who has done like a Star Wars card game at all. So that's why
the Star Wars Villainous count. Who made that one again?
That's a good point. Yeah. Ravensburger.
Yeah.
Ravensburger did that. Yeah. That's a good point. But other than
Does
that,
it fall into the same category
of
if you're
what?
saying if it's like, yeah, it's a card game, but
right.
are they? Well, then again, yeah, the deck builder isn't a TCG.
Yeah,
so.
well, right. Again, you'd have to go back to like, what's a contract say? You know what I mean? So again, I'm just asking questions here. So, you know, because I don't know. It's just I notice things and I'm like, huh. But again, I could know nothing about if there's other card games that have happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing that I'm interested in is is anyone else allowed to make a Star Wars card game? Because I haven't seen it. Right. And so it's because of Star Wars Destiny and other games from FFG that have utilized the Star Wars license that why should I think that's the one reason that I'm kind of wary of Star Wars Unlimited. Like the first thing is, oh, it's a new TCG, sign me up, right? That's the same thing that happened with Orkana, right? It's a new.
Third time's the charm, right?
But I don't know what time this is. You know what I mean?
True.
You know
I
what I
have
mean?
no idea.
Like, so I don't know. I'm interested. You know, I'm gonna kick it to the audience real quick. Like, are you guys hyped? Are you very wary of this from FFG? Do you think they're going to be able to crack the code? But there, I want to. We're gonna come full circle towards the end of the episode and I'll tell you right now, Jim. The one thing that I've thought about since seeing this is, man, we're back to early 2000s. We really are back to early 2000s, dude.
I know, Dan. I know.
this is the thing, and we'll bring it back.
Yeah,
we will bring it back to that. But
except we're in a better space than early 2000s.
Yeah, we definitely are. So there's been, since the announcement, okay, there has been quite a few different articles, right, that have been posted. There's one from IGN, one from Polygon. The one that I kind of want to really look at is this one from Polygon. And they even, I got to give it to Charlie Hall. Charlie's written a lot of articles in this space recently. He's done a lot of reporting on Lorcana. Now seems to be doing some reporting for Star Wars Unlimited. But he says in the second paragraph in the Polygon article, title of the article is, "With the Star Wars Unlimited TCG, Fantasy Flight is putting all its cards on the table. It's a non-gimmicky TCG." Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Dude, I'm looking over these comments. I kind of love them.
All right, you got to read some of them. But so second paragraph, Fantasy Flight's reputation as a publisher of card games is a bit rocky following a series of high profile cancellations, including Netrunner, Legend of the Five Rings, and Star Wars Destiny. The most recent failure, however, was a mysterious technical mishap that derailed Keyforge, the popular procedurally generated card game that launched in 2018. Early interest was high, but an unknown issue stopped production in its tracks. The game is now owned and produced by a different company entirely. Okay, when you have a game, Keyforge is popular, okay? When you have a game like Keyforge that's just up and we don't know what happened, and now is owned by a completely other company, why would I put any amount of faith in you trying to do something big, bold, and new, even with an IP like Star Wars?
So, Dan, this just sounds like FUD, okay? The thing that you're not realizing, right, is just how great of a game this is, and it's been 4 days since we've learned anything about it, and we know, and since we know how to play it, right? We know there's going to be instant speed, so it's just instantly. Which is so much better than any other card game that doesn't have instant speed.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry, guys. I
really just think you're
had a mini
you're just
panic
being
attack.
a downer right now.
I am being a downer.
And I just can't deal with it today.
I had a mini heart attack just right now. I didn't know if I hit record.
I was gonna say it was going on that screen, so we're good.
We're good. I see it right here. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. All right, cool. Woo. All right.
Yeah,
I'm just
good.
memeing, guys.
Oh goodness. But okay, yes, I am being a downer. Like that's my. I feel like I'm just living up to my reputation. I am living up to my reputation. Like that is literally my reputation in the Lorcana community.
All right, so this kind of goes with it, okay?
Yes.
Retromancer from 5 days ago wrote a comment.
Okay.
Star Wars has a long and illustrious tradition of failed TCG, LCG, and CCGs,
Yep.
and I fully expect this to join the canon.
Like, okay, but the serious question is, can this be the outlier? But like, can it? But why should we believe it will?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many people are confident that this is actually going to survive.
Honestly, I think if they just steal a bunch of stuff from Magic, throw Star Wars into it, like you'll be all right. I think you'll be okay.
Will they though?
In theory.
Oh, well, yeah, in theory. But okay, so I think back to our conversation with Justin Gary. Okay.
Yeah.
And we talked about good idea versus IP.
Yeah.
Like what's more important? And I
Yeah.
knew the answer to that question right when I asked it, right? Because I mean, if I asked you that question, Jim, is that an obvious? Do you think that's an obvious answer? Do you think that has an obvious answer?
Yeah, I think IP doesn't really matter. If
Now,
if it's a bad game, IP just doesn't matter.
okay. Now, do you think you would have a different opinion if you haven't been in games as long as you have? Like, do you think? Like, I'm trying because I'm trying to analyze this from somebody who's the outside looking in, like a typical suit. Okay, like a typical suit would look at a situation where they're just trying to make something that sells well and makes money. Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, that would be someone who's on the outside looking in, who doesn't understand an industry, who doesn't know what is good, like who doesn't know what a good game is.
Yeah.
Right. So would they think, well, this is popular over here. Marvel makes some really good movies. The MCU is really, really, really popping. Let's just throw all of their stuff on this card game and then it should sell the same amount, right? So do you think if people are on the outside looking in that they would come to a conclusion like that? Because to me, it's common sense that a good idea is going to be better than just a successful IP in general.
Yeah. If we're looking at it in terms of just short term, how can I make some money? Then yes.
Okay.
You know, just having that IP
Right.
will get those people drawn.
Yeah.
But you're not going to last if you don't have a good game.
Right.
You're not going to last 2, 3 years, 4 years.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Especially if people badmouth the game.
Yeah. Right.
So at some point, you know, it's just going to get out there that you don't have a good game,
Right.
and no one's going to play it. So
Do you think all TCGs, like if you're coming out with a new TCG, the goal is for it to be around 10 plus years? Because you just talked about short term and like, yeah, we can make some money in the short term. Are people actively seeking to make a card game and fully expect it to only be around for 5 years max?
I doubt it, but if we're talking about you know, where the suits would see stuff,
Right.
I think them just noticing that this is a big IP, they're more likely to jump on it versus something that, you know, again, because if they're not in the scene, why are they going to back someone that other people say the game is good? They have no clue about it. They have no idea what this IP is. There's nothing. It's a brand new thing. They're less likely to get a big investor.
Well, here. Let me throw a scenario at you because let's say there's a company. You're obviously you want to be successful for the long term. You want to make good profits year over year, and you want every year to be more profitable than the last, right? But in order to make a good and successful card game, I mean, that's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of R&D because good ideas take time, play testing. There's a lot of stuff that's involved, right? Especially if it's built on no IP. And we know that if you want to build something on an existing IP, you don't own any licenses. You have to go through that legal process, and that takes time, okay? So I wonder, okay, if a company would be like, okay, we can try to make something off of a successful IP like Marvel, okay, MCU, okay? Let's do 2 projects in tandem. Project A is going to be the Marvel project, but we're going to try and make money in the short term with this, okay? But we want all of our best ideas to go to this project over here that we are building the IP from the ground up, so we don't have to worry about we don't have to worry about the IP. We don't have to worry about the licensing process. We can just do our own stuff over here, right? I wonder if the the project that has like the existing IP, like it is successful right now. Like there's movies going like again with Marvel, you can tie it to certain projects that are happening right now, and you're confident you can make some money in the short term, but you don't want to deal with the constant licensing, the fees, and it's just going to be too expensive to maintain.
Yeah.
So you keep all of your best ideas for the project that you're building the IP from the ground up over here.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, if those two things, if the one that's based on the Marvel IP, for instance, okay, you expect to make money over 1 year, maybe 2 years, but you know this other project isn't going to start making money until year 3, 4, 5, because this Star Wars project, they've been working on it for 3, 4 years.
Right.
So do you think there would be any instance like that? Not necessarily where a same company is doing two different projects, right? But I don't know. Do you ever think there's those types of questions get asked or anything?
I think it's extremely difficult to answer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
right.
while you were asking it, my mind instantly went to like the early 2000s when everyone and their brother was making a card game.
Yeah.
I don't think all those people were thinking this is going long term. It's just this is a
They
really
want to
hype
capitalize
thing,
in it. Yeah.
and we want to get a part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's definitely people that have made a card game. It's like, okay, we're gonna go do 1-2 sets max.
Is that a winning mentality though? You know what I mean?
If
Because like,
winning, no.
But-
Get money because of a hype, yes.
but how much how much are you leaving on the table though? Because
A lot.
But right, that's the thing. Like, I feel like in the end, you're losing out on more than you're getting, right? Because if you're just focusing, I feel like if people are just focusing on the here and now, they're not playing the long game. They're not playing the long con, right?
Not everyone does.
Right. But my mind just immediately went to the movie. You ever seen Matchstick Men?
No.
Oh, okay. You got to watch this movie.
Is it Disney?
It is not. No. It's a movie with Nicolas Cage and Sam. Have you ever seen
Sam Smith?
No, not Sam Smith. No, he was in the second Iron Man. He was in the second Iron Man. He was I'm pretty sure it was Iron Man.
The older?
Too. No, not Mickey Rourke.
Oh.
The younger guy. He was like the other Tony Stark character. I have the face. I have the face. I know what he sounds like, but I can't for the life of me remember his name. But anyway, so it's these two guys. They're basically con men. Okay, and then a young girl.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about now?
Okay,
all right. And then the young girl comes in.
Yes.
And so the other guy who's not Nicolas Cage and the girl are playing the entire movie are playing this long con on Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And that's just where my mind immediately went to because I just said long con.
Yeah.
You got to play that long game. But again, so when it comes to business, like I don't know like what problems again the suits are facing, right? Like if they're really thinking about no, we need to make profit this year, we're losing money over here. I don't know. It's just I just see people just trying to capitalize on success that other games and other companies are having, and they're just like we want to get a piece. But I just don't think that's a winning mentality, because I think in order for you to get a piece, you have to develop the best card game. Since we're talking about card games, right? You have to develop the best card game out of what's all in the market. And you have to view it from that standpoint, not I want a piece of that. Okay? It's just I want to build the best card game, right? So
well, some of those outsiders might just not care about making the best card game.
what you mean like suits?
Yeah.
You mean? Right.
And
That's
and
true.
like you're
That's
saying,
true.
they could utilize this one thing to make money in the short term,
Right.
to be building up something that
Something
they have
else.
on the
Right.
side.
And it could be something that's not even in the TCG world. Like
Yeah.
it could be in a completely different
Yep.
industry.
Yep.
Like we're going to use the money we're making from this to fund this other thing, which is our heart and soul.
Yep.
Could be. But with FFG, that's all FFG does. It's like, if this is all you do, then why in the world?
Brought to you by our sponsor, Fantasy Flight,
Final Fantasy
Final
games.
Fantasy games.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, man. So where are you at with this? I mean, I know you just found out about it, but
Yeah.
like what's your initial take?
That one comment is that said the other Star Wars games, just have fallen kind of flat on their face.
Uh-huh.
I never want to see a card game fail. Okay.
Yes.
I pretty much never want to see a card game fail. So am I hopeful? Yes. Am I super excited about this game coming out? No, not really. They're like, it's going to be instant speed and not sorcery speed stuff. Yes.
Well, so let's talk about that real quick, because where was that in the Polygon article?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was, yeah.
I forget exactly where it was, but overall,
Okay.
I think it's cool, and hopefully it does well
Yeah.
for the people who love the game and
Yeah.
people who love Star Wars.
So in the article. So again, this is from the Polygon article. It says, we're not trying to get into anything crazy or fancy, Cartwright said. In other words, we're not doing dice.
Yeah.
We wanted to focus all of our design on how do we make the best card game. Great. Specifically, and the focus on cards and the focus on the interaction of those cards and the kind of unlimited possibilities you get from being able to play with all of the Star Wars toys. So it is a non-gimmicky TCG. Not sure what that is supposed to mean, non-gimmicky TCG.
Maybe like using dice.
They're
or
using
something.
dice. Right. So the next paragraph says, Cartwright described the game as fast moving with lots of back and forth between players in a given round.
Yep.
That is what we like to hear.
Yep.
That's what we like to hear. So Jim, does this sound like a game you would play?
It sounds like a game I would check out.
Okay. And are you a big Star Wars guy?
I like it.
Okay.
I haven't watched the latest, was it 9? I haven't seen 9.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I got like halfway through. I fell asleep. I'm like, I don't even
Yeah. Nobody cared about it. Okay. Yeah. Nobody cared about it. You're not
I
missing
actually
much.
forced myself to watch it too. Yeah. I had to force
So did
myself.
everybody else.
And the other ones I liked Solo. Solo was cool.
Solo
Rebel
was good, yeah.
was it Rebel 1? What was it called?
Rogue One.
Rogue One. That's
Rogue
what
One
it's
was
called.
fantastic.
I like that one. Yeah.
Rogue One was really, really good.
Yeah, I really like that
One of my favorite parts of that movie was the end of the movie, which when they end the movie, it's basically start of A New Hope
Yeah.
with Vader. Oh my dude, that was like the best sequence ever.
Dude,
so good.
So there are people that have talked about that ending scene.
Oh, I love it.
They said why wasn't the lights on his chest lit up? Because if it was off, the guy can't breathe. So he took cool factor in priority of I'm going to breathe and stay alive.
Yep.
So he like shut off everything just so he could look so much more menacing and destroy all those people.
Just so he could look so much more badass. And then the first light you see is his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the best sequences. I think that's one of the best sequences in the entire Star Wars universe. It was so well done. And then the rebel trooper trying to get out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would do the same thing if that was Vader. I'm like, I'm
Is that a horror movie?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, that was a really good one. It seems like a lot of the spin-off stuff that they're doing for well, I guess spinoff for Star Wars is just so much better than like the trilogy that they've
Yeah,
done.
I thought Solo was okay. It was good. But Rogue One was magnifique.
And then you even talk about the Mandalorian stuff. People love that.
I haven't finished the most recent season.
Did they do Yeah, they had Obi-Wan as well, right?
Obi-Wan was okay. Yeah.
And then didn't they have another one that went with the Mandalorian?
They're doing they did Boba Fett.
Yeah,
They did Boba Fett, which it should oh goodness. It was a Boba Fett show without Boba Fett.
Oh,
there was a lot of episodes that just barely had any Boba Fett in it.
Gotcha.
Like it was good. But honestly, at the end of the day, story is king. Right? So I thought the stories in Boba Fett were good. The stories in Mandalorian are great. Wasn't the biggest fan of Obi-Wan myself. I still haven't seen the most recent Mandalorian season.
Okay.
So I do need to get caught up on that. But they've been telling a lot of good, for the most part, I feel like they've been telling a lot of good stories. Aside from the mainline movies, it's just been so bad.
And I love that George Lucas is like, oh yeah, these latest movies aren't even canon.
Hearing George Lucas talk about Star Wars is just like it's both funny and sad.
It is, man. Oh goodness.
But you know what? He's laughing all the way to the bank.
True.
Yeah. So anyway, we are gearing up for the best card game ever. All right. So I do want to bring it back though to early 2000s.
Yeah.
It really does feel like. I mean, I feel like
Phantom Menace just came out.
I do feel like we've been having this conversation for about a year. You know, because I've been. I've brought this question up to quite a few people, right? I mean, we've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of great designers. We just got done playing some Alpha Clash. Okay, I remember talking to Ridge. Great conversation, right? Love talking to Ridge. I think he's an extremely smart guy, and he's got a lot of plans for Alpha Clash, and I think that game is going to do pretty well. I think the game is going to do very well. Especially with the whole contender aspect of you being able to take a character and then you build your deck around that character. So, excuse me.
Was that hero builds or hero decks? Or I forget what it was called exactly. Where like you pretty much build your deck around a specific hero. Or like a
term? Like a term?
Yeah, I forget what he utilized.
Oh, like term he used? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's so you get to do that. You get to build around a contender. What did you think? Because that was your first time like really playing the game, right?
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
It was cool. I wasn't the biggest fan of the deck that I was using, but I thought overall it just made a lot of sense and it was easy to learn. I think depending on the cards you're utilizing, it could definitely be very complicated to play.
Yes.
So there is that low floor, high ceiling to the game.
Yeah.
And the cards overall seemed really cool and powerful.
What didn't you like about the deck?
I wish I had more trap cards.
Okay.
Okay. Well, all right. So
because I know this is a play style thing. Like, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to understand like what you would have more preferred to see in your deck.
Yeah, I would have loved to play control list, or also be able to like buff up my contender because it itself seemed very weak.
And most of them are. Yeah. Most of them are because they kind of have.
I get it can't be broken.
Right.
Because then it's like, oh, I have 5 armor. Your dude literally can't hit me.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, it makes sense. But it's just like, you know, you're you have this character who is supposed to be very strong or like your hero. I forget the exact term he used, but I think it's something around there. But it's not really like a hero. It's just some guy who's getting punched in the face. He's a pawn, is what it seems like. He's a pawn who's not even good. He's getting beat up by the knights and the bishops and all that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I think just for those games that we played, yeah, I would like to play a different character. But overall, I like the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, and in the first set, there's only like 4 or 5.
Yeah, when do we get Harbinger?
That comes out, I want to say they've got Harbinger stuff in set 2. But there are Harbinger cards in set 1. There's just no Harbinger contender, I don't think.
So it's like you can't even play them.
Well, you can. It's just they're different clash cards. They're clash cards.
I can't play it.
You can though.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, there's not. I don't think there's a lot of Harbingers in set 1.
Okay.
But anyway. But yeah, like there's Alpha Clash. I mean, goodness gracious, Grand Archive, Shadowverse. There's so many card games coming this year. Lorcana, and then Star Wars is now coming in 2024.
Yep.
I mean, has there been a time that you remember between early 2000s and now that we've just seen so many card games coming?
No. Yeah, no, not really.
How much do you think
they would like trickle?
How much do you think this has to do with the pandemic? Because, and the reason I ask that is when the pandemic kind of started was when there seemed to be a TCG boom, like just in popularity, like a popularity boom.
Right.
So, I mean, is the pandemic to be thanked / blamed?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's it's difficult because it's like, yeah, the pandemic could have been it, but it's like, if you're not playing online, where are you playing? It's like, are you just playing with people at your house? Then, well, I assume most families aren't playing card games together.
You never know. I'm waiting for my kids to get older. I am waiting for my kids to get older, so I can start introducing them. Nolan has been gifted quite a lot of Pokemon cards.
I saw he had a Pikachu bag
for his Pokemon cards.
I almost stole it.
So he has them for his Pokemon cards, and he was given a couple of small mini folios for the cards to go in.
Yeah.
So it was funny. My wife went into his room at night after he was supposed to be in bed.
Hold on, I just got to make sure it's still in there. All right, we're good.
And so he's in his bed.
Yeah.
And he's putting his cards in the folio. I'm like,
my man.
But we're gonna get you something different because those things are just
those are garbage, man. Those are rough.
So yeah,
just get them that Quadro, you know.
The Quadro. Yep, absolutely.
Make it work.
Yeah. So since this announcement of Star Wars Unlimited, I think that is literally the final nail in the coffin of, oh yeah, we're back to early 2000s now.
Yeah.
For real. But and I've said this earlier, I do feel like I can't call on experience because I don't remember games that came out. Wait a minute. Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Wow. Yep.
But I think now these designers remember that time and remember the misses. Remember all of the misses, right? And so they've corrected as best they can from the design side because they remember the stuff that didn't work. But I wonder, even the stuff that did work early 2000s, is that stuff still going to work now? It's got to some extent because you've still got Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
And they're still better than ever. And that's still the peak. That is still the peak right now is Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm trying to think of all the, well, I can't think of all the games, but a lot of the bigger games that have come out in the last like 4 years. It's like Digimon,
Yep.
One Piece just came out.
One Piece, yeah.
Dragon Ball Super. Lorcana's coming out. The Star Wars games coming out. Were there any like other bigger ones? Flesh and Blood was what, 6 years ago?
Has it really been that long?
Oh wait, I think Flesh and Blood was also 4 or 5 years ago.
It's around that time for Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. So and mind you, these are bigger games. I don't even know of the rest. Then you have the I guess the Alpha Clash, the Battle Saga,
Battle Spirit Saga.
Like you were saying, Shadowverse is now getting their TCG where it was digital. So yeah,
Which when are we going to get those? When is that game supposed to come out?
I think it comes out towards the end of this year because I've been seeing a lot more stuff about it. Online.
Yeah.
So I really want.
I want to get, dude. I want to play that
I
too
wanna play it.
because I love Shadowverse. That game is a lot of fun.
That level up mechanic's sick.
It's cool, and every time I play that game, it's a great time. It's the problem that I have right now is the game's just been out for so long, and it's like I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I do not know where to start diving into the digital client.
Yeah.
It's really daunting. You know, we talk about oh goodness, what's the term? What is the term? When you're trying to get into something and there's like a gate, not a gate. Oh my word. Goodness.
Barrier
gracious.
to entry?
Barrier to entry. Thank you. Goodness
Not a gate,
gracious.
something else.
A gate is a type of barrier. Yes. Barrier to entry. Yeah. But the barrier to entry, even for somebody who's been in games for a long time, it just it's still pretty high, you know.
Yeah.
But still, I have a lot of fun playing that game. It's just, this might be the one that just really pulls me into it. So, but yeah, and I guarantee there's other games. Grand Archive is another one. There's another one as well.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot. And so now you have to talk about market share. And now, like, as a consumer, you're really like, okay, where am I going to spend my money? Because Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh are not going anywhere.
You know,
That's the thing.
I wasn't even really thinking about it, but you could say it's even worse than the early 2000s because now that we have Kickstarter and other stuff, all the
Sorcery,
games we don't even know
there's
about.
More though. Like Sorcery is another one. Cryptic, I think is one. I'm just thinking of other ones that came out on Kickstarter.
So,
those are two that I know off the top of my head.
So there is just far more than what we're even imagining.
Yes.
So.
And so now you get one from a huge IP, Star Wars, and it's just like, oh, people who are in the space are just like, okay, so what? It's even though it's Star Wars, so who the F cares, right? Because like in any other industry, you'd be like, oh my goodness, Star Wars. I mean, I do remember a time when, because there was a time when if you were in an industry, if you're in a space, and then a big IP dropped their version, it was game over. And so there was a time where if we would have been in that time, and there's a Star Wars card game, that's game over.
Yeah.
That time no longer exists.
Yeah,
it does not exist. It does not exist anymore. And you know what? I think that's a good thing. Yeah. And you know why? Because I want the best thing. I don't care what your name is. I want the best thing to succeed. Okay. I think that's best for consumers. I think that's the best thing for the industry. I think that's the best thing for all parties.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Overall,
yeah. is just have the best ideas and the best thing succeed.
Yeah.
Not just the one that I play. You know what I mean?
Not just the biggest name.
Right. I mean, that's like the ultimate form of meritocracy. You know what I mean? But you know what though? When you talk about gaming, it's more than that though, because you could have the best idea, and if you don't do any marketing, if you don't get your name out there, nobody's gonna know about it. So
Yep.
I would like it to be where the best game and the best ideas are the ones that rise to the top, but the reality is that's not what happens. And again, going back to there being a time of and this was a time before the social media age, right? Of Star Wars just dropped a game. Oh, Marvel just, or whoever the big IP name is. And then that word got around. That's what everybody's flocking to because they know the name, right? And so now you can't do that anymore. And so I wonder if FFG is one of those companies who's just been around for a long time, and they're just like, you know, we're gonna get the rights to Star Wars, and we're gonna do a Star Wars card game, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Yeah.
And they think that. Now, do I think all of FFG thinks that? No, but I wonder if there are some people in the company who think that. But again, time will tell. So, yeah. What do you think? What is your take on all of that?
Man, it's just too much.
Yeah,
Just a lot.
It is. It is. You're not wrong.
I just need a break from spoiler season, you know?
Well, you know what? Well, we just talked about we haven't seen Lorcana stuff. Like we haven't seen Lorcana stuff.
True.
And that's gonna be interesting. I really do wonder how Lorcana is gonna handle spoilers and stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean that's Star Wars. So there's like we talked about, there's a couple of articles that we've touched on so far. And we will link all of those in the description down below. So again, be sure to check the podcast notes for those. There's the article from Polygon. There's one from IGN. And I think the best thing from IGN, honestly, is all the comments. There was one here. From Golf Bum 24. Pretty much every Star Wars game since Decipher's Star Wars TCG has been boring. The Decipher one from the 90s was outselling MTG, and people still play it today. I don't even know why that one stopped. And again, I do think again from talking to Charmer, there was a legalese issue, contracts, licensing, something like that.
Did they say outselling Magic even today?
No.
Oh,
He said people still play it today.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't be possibly outselling when you can't sell it.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? The first comment that I see. I like the idea, but hope there's a digital version as I'm long past my physical card collecting playing days. And how many times, Jim, have we talked about that exact thing?
Yep. Once or twice.
Do you think there's going to be a digital client for this?
Honestly, I just think every card game should have a digital client.
Yeah, and we've talked about this. Yes,
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I
probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there is a Lord of the Lord of the Rings one, LCG.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's isn't it also on Steam? Yeah, it's on Steam.
Yeah, you can get that on Steam. Yeah. It's like Lord of the Rings, the adventure card game or something like that. So yeah, that's just. We're gonna wake up tomorrow and we're gonna get news that hey, there's a new Marvel card game.
Oh my goodness! Please, no, at least give me a week from this one.
Oh man, dude, like it's crazy, dude. So okay, will you check it out? Will you be checking out Star Wars Unlimited?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
Do you want to check it out?
I mean, it's a new card game.
We're gonna check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna check it out.
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know once we get news. So I will follow this for sure, and like we'll see if this is something that we might be interested in. We did talk about the opportunity that Lorcana is, right? And now, how many new YouTube channels are there going to be for Star Wars Unlimited?
Goodness. A couple.
I'm not throwing shade. Like I'm not throwing shade.
How many
right?
Lorcana you think are going to go to Star Wars Unlimited?
Well, there's been a couple. There's been a few that are
Us.
There was one account on Twitter that I saw that was like, we do Lorcana stuff, and then the moment this dropped, Star Wars or Lorcana plus Star Wars Unlimited. I had to laugh a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Now, but to be fair, this one account did talk a lot about Star Wars Destiny. They enjoyed a lot of Star Wars Destiny. So it seems like it's already right up their alley. Yeah. Right. So I again, not like poking or throwing shade or anything. Yeah. It's just I notice things and I laugh because that's just what I try and do. I just try to laugh at just about everything. Yeah. So, but I do wonder in a month how many new YouTube channels we're going to see or podcasts of Star Wars Unlimited, the premier Star Wars Unlimited podcast.
The premiere. There's literally only one article.
I love you guys. There's
one article.
Don't worry about it. No. There's
two.
No, every outlet has their own. Okay.
It's all the same thing, Dan. It's all the same. There was one interview.
Oh my goodness. So I'm interested. So the TLDR is we are interested and to see what this is going to do. I did see a thumbnail from Team Covenant about this. I haven't seen what their thoughts are.
Man.
I haven't seen what their thoughts are. So we'll have to watch that.
Well, those guys are really competitive card game players. So I can't wait to see what they say.
What?
TCG players.
Okay.
Like the big ones.
Oh yeah, the big ones.
Yeah. So they're gonna love this one because it's not gonna be big.
Well, hang on. They do enjoy a lot of Flesh and Blood. They're big in Flesh and Blood. True. Which Flesh and Blood is.
Yeah, it's the big four.
It's the big four. Yes.
It's the big fourth.
The big fourth. I like that one. I like that. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on now. We're done talking about Star Wars Unlimited for today. Okay, but we are now gonna move on to what is that one segment that we call? I'm just kidding.
Something about like a cardboard of the day.
It is the card of the week. It is a card of the week, ladies and gentlemen. And we have a magic card that we're going to talk about today. Okay. This card is called Conduit of Worlds from the most recent Phyrexia set. Okay. Conduit of Worlds. It's 2 and 2 green for an artifact. Okay. It says you may play lands from your graveyard. Okay. Also has a tap ability. So you can tap it and choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay. Now I want to get Jim's take on this, okay? Because I do have a commander. I have a couple of commander decks. Really, one that I run this in. It's my land. I run this in my lands deck. Okay. I do not run this in Muldrotha because it doesn't make any sense to run this in Muldrotha. Okay. Now, this card is basically a new and improved Crucible of Worlds. Crucible of Worlds is a 3-cost artifact that all it says on it is you can play lands from your graveyard. I remember the first time I saw that card, Crucible of Worlds, and I saw it was a mythic. Okay. And I'm like, what does this even mean? And why is I'm like, why is it even cool? And then when I learned more about the game of Magic, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And that's when I fell in love with like the whole idea of just playing stuff from your graveyard. Okay. So Crucible of Worlds was like my immediate like favorite card. I loved it. Okay. So this is a new and improved version of Crucible of Worlds. Okay. So instead of 3 colorless, it's 2 colorless, but now 2 green. So it's 1 more mana, but a little bit harder to cast because of the 2 green. Okay, but it also has another ability. Okay, with that tap ability. Okay, now I basically replaced Ramanop Excavator with this card. Ramanop Excavator is another 3 cost, 2 and a green for a creature. I think it's a 3/2 or 2/1. I can't remember, but it's basically Crucible of Worlds on a body.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so I replaced Ramanop Excavator with Conduit of Worlds. Okay?
Makes sense.
Because again, it's just more upside. Okay. Is if I don't have anything better to do, I can then now play a card off of Conduit of Worlds. Okay.
Off chance you have no cards in hand or nothing good.
Yeah. Or and it doesn't exile it either. Okay. So it's just playing this card. And again, for me, I have a lot of cards that have like landfall abilities, landfall triggers. So just so much upside to that. So what's your initial take on Conduit of Worlds?
I hate it. Man, if I had $1 for every time green got something good, I'd have a heck ton of dollars. And you know, the weird part is that you could have thrown this in like black, and but how they nerfed this card was by putting it in green.
Yeah.
That's how they nerfed this card. You put this card in black with that recursion, card's broken. But they got to give it to the color that needs the most help. So what are you gonna do?
The one thing is it's only a permanent, right?
Yeah.
So it's target non-land permanent.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Which there aren't any good cards of those, right?
yeah. Right. Right. Oh my goodness! Just Renin 6.
Dude, there's so many.
I know.
There's so many, Dan.
Oh my goodness! Just
Any non-instant sorcery.
when I saw this card, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about power creep, right? Oh my goodness! Like
For 1 extra mana.
for 1 more mana, you took a mythic Crucible of Worlds and then added more stuff to it. I think, please tell me, what is the freaking downside? What is the downside? Yeah, right?
I told you, Dan.
Oh my
That's how
goodness.
they nerfed it.
Oh my
Gave it 1
word.
extra mana, put it in green, cards nerfed.
Yeah, it's so like for that one deck I put it, I'm like, I'm literally losing nothing. Okay, I have to pay 1 more mana for it.
That's difficult.
I don't care. Yeah, exactly.
That's
like, so what? Like, it's those decisions that are just like they are slowly pushing out so many cards.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, what do you expect for a game that's been around for 30 years? So like oh man, I don't know.
I actually think it's been almost 30 years.
No, when did it come out? Like what month?
June 2nd.
Was it June?
June 2nd.
Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
Because I'm now 30.
We're close. We're close. Oh man. So yeah, that is this week's card of the week. Conduit of Worlds. Phyrexia. All will be one. I think all will be one. Is this that?
Yeah. And now we're on March of the Machines
March
or whatever.
of the Aftermath. March of the Machine Aftermath.
I don't know.
Dude, I don't. It's always spoiler season.
I don't know.
Did you hear about the Pinkerton thing?
Yes.
This is all we're gonna talk about, this, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
They swatted him. They sent highly trained assassin, Demir assassin rogues.
What's your take on that? Do you? Well, let me ask. Do you care?
Yes and no. Like,
why? Yes. Why? Yes.
Because it's so
game.
funny.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the only yes.
I mean, it sounds like it was a complete, like, the reason they got sent was just a complete accident.
Yeah.
It was a complete accident.
Yeah.
They didn't. The guy got the cards completely by accident. I think it was because there's a set March of the Machine, and there's also March of the Machine Aftermath.
Yeah.
I think those are 2 different sets.
Okay.
So they gave him March of the Machine Aftermath and not March of the Machine. It's like, well, you know what? That's your own stinking fault,
Yeah.
Watsy.
Yeah.
Don't name your sets like that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's just other ways things can be handled,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
You can handle things differently.
Yeah. So needless to say, that got around the community real fast.
Oh, yeah.
Real fast. So anyway, that is this week's card of the week. Conduit of Worlds. Yeah.
Pick it up.
I'm enjoying
Follow our link. We don't have a link.
Well, what the link for what?
TCG
TCG
the
player?
link. Follow our Amazon link. Go buy the card on Amazon.
So I'll see if I can find this single on Amazon. But we'll get whatever. Go to TCG Player if you want to. Even though I don't have a link for TCG Player yet. Time that one perfectly.
Yes.
So all right, well, that's all we got for you guys this week. How do we normally end these episodes? Do you remember?
Nope.
It's been a while. So anyway, Jim, where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram at Jim Morgan, HNH.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Daniel.G.Campbell, Twitter at _DG Campbell. If you head over to our website, www.hobbiesandhappiness.com, you can find links to all of our social accounts there. You can find stuff for our podcast. Go to our YouTube channel. YouTube is youtube.com/hobbiesandhappiness. That's how you can find us on YouTube. And again, if you go to our website, everything's linked there. You can find us on our Facebook. Hop into our Discord. And you know what? Don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified, and hit that bell so you can be notified for whenever we release new content. I know we haven't gotten a lot of new content recently, but more content's coming down the pipe.
We're lagging.
LOL lag.
LOL lag.
Like we talked about before, we're spending quality time with the people that matter to us. Not that you guys don't matter, because you absolutely do.
But you don't matter more than our families.
Correct.
Unless you guys watching are our families.
Correct. So that's all we got for you guys this week. Thanks a lot for being here. And you know what? But before we get out of here, let us know. Let us know if you're watching on YouTube. Hit us up in the comments. What's your opinion on Star Wars Unlimited? Have you been burned by FFG in the past? Are you looking forward to be burned again?
Yes.
Or will you be burned again?
Yes.
I don't know. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know. We're interested to know if you're excited for Star Wars Unlimited. So thanks, everybody, for being here. We will catch you in the next episode. See you, everybody.
Take care.